We will now hear from Wayne Robertson, Sarah Rauch, and Teresa Sheward about some exciting new legal initiatives.
Wow. If we ever needed a rationale for some of the initiatives that we're going to talk about in a minute here, I think we've heard it. Thank you to Amelia and Antonio for your introduction to the convention and the importance of the rights that are outlined there. Thank you, True, for sharing your story. Thank you, Cheyenne, for having made the eloquent case for the voice of children to be heard. And thank you to the members of the Youth Advisory Committee for showing the courage to spend your volunteer time to educate those of us and to help organize systems to work better for you and other youth who are going through the system. Welcome to Minister Cadieux, Chief Justice Hinkson, Chief Judge Crabtree, and all of you in the room who have taken time out of your schedules to come here to celebrate this important event. My role as Executive Director of the Law Foundation is to tell you a bit about one initiative that is going to work a little bit on some of the issues that we've heard about. We're also in the presence today of a governor and chair-elect of the Law Foundation. I want to acknowledge Eileen Vanderberg. She actually gets to vote on some of these things, so she's actually the one who makes the decisions about funding initiatives, and one of those is the Children's Lawyer Initiative, which you're going to hear more about in the coming months. This initiative is a top priority for the board of the Law Foundation, and what it's going to do is establish a children's lawyer office in the province of British Columbia. The money for this initiative has come from a variety of sources. The first pot of money came from a class action residual award that was made to the Law Foundation to our Child Welfare Fund, and the board of the foundation decided that hearing children's views and the Children's Lawyer Initiative was the priority. Added to that pot has been money from the Law Society's Access to Justice Fund, from the Representative for Children and Youth Office, from the Notary Foundation, from the Law Foundation Strategic Initiatives Fund, and we're hopeful of getting some more money from the Law Foundation of Ontario's National Initiatives Fund. So it's come from a variety of places. What we've managed to do is put together a fund of $300,000 a year for the next few years to fund a children's lawyer initiative where children's voices are going to be heard in the family law cases that Cheyenne spoke about. They're going to be heard in child protection cases where they're not now. They're going to be heard in those types of cases, school law situations like True described. There's going to be a lawyer's office to help with education situations that youth are facing, employment situations, housing, bullying, dealing with police. All of those things are going to be within the mandate of this modest office. Now, having said all that, clearly a small office like this, which is probably going to have one lawyer and some lawyers on contract, a part-time lawyer, and maybe one or two advocates, isn't going to be able to do everything. So that's where I want to close my remarks by inviting everyone here to keep in touch with us at the foundation, and also to keep in touch with whatever agency ends up being the successful applicant for funding to establish the Children's Lawyer Office. A part of the work is going to include pro bono activities on the part of the bar, and I'm certain that there will be support in that front. There will be need for people to be on advisory committees. There's lots of potential, and I know that whoever the agency is that ends up doing this initiative is interested in collaborating and being connected with the community. So you have an open invitation to keep your ears open and to be engaged with us as we move forward. Thank you to the organizers of tonight for having pulled this together and having the focus on the voice of children. And I'm very hopeful and optimistic that as time goes on in our province, there will be more services for children when they need it. Thank you.
So I'm Sarah Rauch, and I'm a lawyer working in the field, in many different fields, interdisciplinary, family, criminal, different things. And so I'm very pleased to be here tonight to speak about an initiative that began as the National CBA has a Children's Law Committee, and from that committee there's a subcommittee that's the UNCRC subcommittee, and that committee and the National Committee applied for funding and received funding to launch and introduce and work on a children's rights toolkit, as was mentioned by Chief Judge Crabtree. We're very excited about this. This has been, in terms of what's going on tonight, what I'm reflecting on is how when you have a toolkit, it's a labor. So this has been a labor of many different people that have contributed across many different fields nationally, from coast to coast to coast, who have expertise in various aspects of children's rights. And so it will be hopefully a very useful tool, a tool that will continue to evolve as we continue, all of us, in whatever area we're practicing in, or in the judiciary, or those who work as advocates, will continue to evolve as we continue to listen to the children. So that's what's so amazing tonight, is to hear the voices, hear the diversity, hear where different children are coming from with issues that as lawyers we may speak about or hear about or research in the daily work that we do, but it's very different just to hear those voices, and we don't always get to. So I think the toolkit will be a grounding tool that will help us see the whole scope of the United Nations. The United Nations Convention is something that we share. A convention, that's what it is by definition. It's something that we share. So it's shared values on the rights, very important rights of children right across Canada, right across the world, and right here in Vancouver and Lower Mainland, British Columbia. So there's this whole wide perspective that narrows every time you hear the voice of a child, any child, no matter what he or she or they are going through in their issues that involve justice. So we're excited about the toolkit. We hope that it will be an evolving instrument that we can keep contributing to by, very importantly, listening to the voices of children over and over and over again as the years go on. I think it will be great for the profession, and I think the launch will be in the spring. So look for it. Feel free to contribute to it as time goes on, and we're very excited again to mirror and respond to the courage and some of the courageous stories we've heard from very, very smart, strong young people who have offered us their stories, so we have a chance to respond with the use of the toolkit. Thank you very much.
Well, we've heard some wonderful and exciting thoughts and ideas today, and I'm last, so I promise to keep it snappy. My name's Teresa Sheward. I'm the program lawyer at CLEBC, and I'm the lawyer there who gets to do all the courses in Aboriginal law programming and in child protection and in the access to justice area, and of that I'm very pleased and very proud. In 2015, CLEBC collaborated with the National Canadian Bar Association to present a two-day conference called Access to Justice for Children. And that conference was a huge success in many ways. It brought together people from across Canada to learn about children's human rights. It provided young people with an opportunity to take the podium and to share their views and experiences, and some of those young people are here today. It contributed to the momentum that resulted in the establishment of the CBABC Children's Law Section. And the conference also received an international award for outstanding achievement in legal education. It showed us that there is a need for opportunities to champion children's rights. And to that end, the Children's Law Section of the CBABC and CLEBC are collaborating again to present the second, and there will be many more, the second biannual Access to Justice for Children Conference on May 11th and 12th of 2017. The chairs of that conference are our beloved Donna Martinson and Suzanne Williams, who's also beloved, and the Advisory Committee on Child Rights, which Cheyenne is co-chairing, which you've heard about today. That committee is part of the planning committee for the conference and will be taking a central role in that planning. I invite you all to join us for that conference on May 11th and 12th, and to come forward to me, or to Donna or to Suzanne, if you want to contribute in terms of being faculty, if you have ideas for what should be addressed at that conference, and any ideas you may have for how we can take these initiatives forward. All in all, I invite you all to come, to be there for that conference, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
So that completes our program. Thank you so much to my wonderful co-chairs, Antonio and Amelia, to all our guests, and to all of you for coming. Let's just thank again all of our speakers, and in particular the young people who, as has been said, gave such a powerful message.